right, hello, welcome to the Marketing Mindset with me. I'm Joe Koufman, the CEO and founder of AgencySparks, and I'm excited about talking with you about different marketing things every week. We'll do this once a week, probably on Wednesdays, perhaps Wednesday mornings, and then we'll rebroadcast it during lunchtime. But this first one goes out during lunchtime. So each week we want to talk about a different topic. This first week is particularly of interest to me. Recently read an article from TechCrunch. The author was a guy named Kobe Fuller, and the article was about organizing your marketing tech stack. And it was interesting to me because I think we all struggle with trying to figure out which technologies are the right technologies and how do you get them to seamlessly work together so that you get to that marketing nirvana that we're all looking for. So what I thought I'd do is talk through some of the technologies that Kobe mentions in his article and the categories of technologies. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about AgencySparks and some of the technologies we use here. And maybe you can glean a little thing that will help you and your business in the process. So first off, in the article, I have my notes here, so I'm going to occasionally read from them. But in the article, he mentioned there was a Q1 survey by the CMO Council and Redpoint Global, where 3% of respondents felt that all of their marketing automation, their engagement, their deployment tools were fully connected with data and metrics and insights. And so if only 3% of people are saying that all of their different tools are connected together, that's woeful, that's terrible. So I think we all need to try to figure out how to better connect our tools. So he went on to kind of outline some of the different categories of tools. And so to give you an example of some of the things that Kobe discussed in the article, team collaboration tools, content creation tools, marketing practitioner tools, data, and then he talked about an intelligence hub. And within the intelligence hub, he sort of had some categories of I guess, tools. Analytics, data science, dashboarding, and orchestration were the tools within that. And then he talked a little bit about execution and optimization of campaigns. And that included things like email, social, search, display, retargeting, affiliate marketing, offline. And then the last part of the article that he discussed particularly was how do you kind of organize your team? How do you know what message that you wanted to communicate is? How do you establish that intelligence hub that I just mentioned? How do you master the basic channels? And then testing, and then wowing the customer is sort of the key parts of all of that. And so given that those are all important parts of the marketing tech stack, and each of those has a set of technologies that are part of those, I thought it would be useful for me to go through some of the tools that we use here at AgencySparks and talk about those. So when it comes to team collaboration, particularly, we're very focused on Google Drive as our hub. We use Google Drive, including Google Sheets and Google, I forget what they call all of them, Slides and Google Docs, to try to basically group, whenever we're working on projects together, we use the same exact sheet or the same exact document, and Google has been a huge tool for that. From a project management standpoint, we use a tool called MeisterTask. There are a lot of different project management tools out there, and there are advantages and disadvantages to each. But for us, MeisterTask has been a really simple and easy tool for us to use. We use chat. We use the Google chat because we're a Google, Gmail company, and so chat is important for us as a communication vehicle. And then in-person communication is always important for us. We do a weekly huddle where the whole team gets together to chat. We actually joke that we call it our weekly cuddle. From a content creation standpoint, there are a number of tools that we use. We use some of the native social media tools like Facebook and Instagram and things like that. But we also use tools like Canva and Pixlr and occasionally Pictochart, which are really nice content creation tools. From a data standpoint, we pull data from a lot of different sources. for us, we leverage a tool called Infusionsoft for all of our email newsletter subscriptions. We use ActiveCampaign as a marketing automation tool, and we use a tool called SalesLoft for sales outreach, and then we use PipeDrive to manage our pipeline. And I know I'm throwing a lot of tools at you relatively quickly, but you can always go back and watch the video later, and then we'll also probably provide some show notes as well that will outline some of these tools. But from an intelligence hub standpoint, I'm not going to go into all the detail of the different tools that one could use, but for us, I'm going to highlight a couple of the key tools. One of those tools is actually Google Analytics. I think that's a key tool for anybody that is doing any kind of marketing. Lucky Orange is a very, very cool tool that allows you to, in essence, sit behind the user and actually see what the user is doing when they're navigating around your site. They actually are able to see what's going on with that. From a data science standpoint, we do retargeting through Google AdWords and Facebook, and we've tested AdRoll as an additional tool to do that. And then in terms of dashboarding, we use actual Google Sheets to build our own custom dashboards so that we can measure what we're doing and how well we're doing with it. And then from an orchestration standpoint, ActiveCampaign is a tool we've been using more and more. It's a marketing automation platform. It competes with Pardot and Marketo and even Infusionsoft, which we're using. But ActiveCampaign has been a really interesting tool because it's very simple to use. It's very inexpensive. And so the last couple of tools I want to talk about are some of the specific tools that are for the execution and optimization of campaigns. So for example, email, we use SalesLoft is a tool that we use for email outreach from the sales perspective, and it allows us to customize each email as we're sending it out, as well as set up a cadence of communication that goes on a regular basis so that we can mix emails, voicemails, videos, etc. as we make outreach. And then ActiveCampaign, as I mentioned, is our primary marketing automation tool that we're using. From a social standpoint, Hootsuite, and also using the native platforms of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc., YouTube. But Hootsuite's been a great aggregator for us to be able to schedule tweets in advance and respond and do some social listening even as well. From a search standpoint, we've really worked hard on creating good content that will be found by Google and Bing. As a good example, we've written some content that's gotten very high ranking. If you do a Google keyword search for marketing career path as an example, you'll find that we actually rank #1 globally for that particular keyword. So search has been an important part of our strategy. From a display standpoint, Google and Facebook and AdRoll have been tools that we've used to do display advertising as well as retargeting. From a web standpoint, we actually use Squarespace to build our site. There are a lot of site building tools from WordPress to Wix to Yola to Squarespace to even GoDaddy or something like that. But for us, Squarespace had the nice mix of user friendliness as well as design focus that makes our site look really professional. And then we do some A/B split testing through ActiveCampaign, but we're actually going to be playing with a tool called Optimizely, which will also help us do some A/B testing. And then the other piece is offline. Public relations and offline vehicles have been really useful for AgencySparks. I've been fortunate enough to be asked to be a guest on a number of radio shows and podcasts and even on TV a couple of times. And so we're finding that actually drives a great deal of traffic to AgencySparks and to the agencies with which we work. So I know I ran through a lot of different tools that we use. Again, we'll put together a quick show notes that includes the tools that we really like. But I'm curious to hear from you what your perfect nirvana is in terms of the stack of different technology tools that you use to run your business from a marketing standpoint. I hope that you are not in the same boat as the 97% of people that responded to the article or the survey that was done in Q1 of this year by CMO Council and Redpoint Global, where they basically felt that their tools were not connected very well. I'm excited to hear from you all what tools you're using. Let me know what you're using, and also let me know what you want to hear from us in terms of these regular marketing mindset conversations that we have once a week. So thank you for tuning in, and look forward to talking to you soon. Bye.